push record. And again, so adulting happy hour, I can't believe I'm saying this, April 2025, as we're almost kicking off into May, is going to be really hyper focused on everyone that's here live and watching the recording. We're going to talk about marketing blitzes, and you're going to get the whole formula, right? And you're going to go, I need to watch this 96 times to make sure that I tell my VA what needs to happen, or I need to tell myself what needs to happen, right? So all of what this training is going to be on your hyper focus on how do you do a marketing blitz, okay? Creating the momentum, creating the inertia, creating the excitement is not just magical fairy dust that we, kind of blow into the magical social media worlds and go, all of a sudden I have conversion in attendees, going into XYZ. My hope is that you take the best practices, make it scalable to where you're at in terms of your bandwidth, in terms of realistically, I've launched this a couple times, Connie, so I have some of these runways made. I don't have some of these runways made. Fair? So in the recording, and again, I love being able to do introductions. I want to hear business, how you have best served this year. So this is what I want you teeing up is not just, this is what I do, my business is, all these things. I want you to go, Connie, if I look back of quarter 1 and we're a month into quarter 2, this has been the best way I have served. It was this one client experience, it's this one event, it's the one widget I finally built out. I want to know how you feel like you've been best of service. And then give me just a rating around how do you feel like you do as your strategy of marketing blitzes and how repeatable have they been? Okay. So we're going to go, Lisa, because I know that this is a subject area that is not like far-fetched from you. It's very close for you and how this translates to your own business. Then we'll go Trish, then we'll go Stephanie.
Okay, well, so how I have served this year, I have a client that I just completed her branding photos. She has worked with other photographers before, but the one thing that she said was very different was it actually is getting results. She says she just started using her photos and she said her engagement on social media and all of her marketing is elevated, like it's
Awesome.
working. So
Awesome.
that was a new one. Oh, I love your love sign. That's awesome.
That's
Um
awesome.
yeah, so that's what I always talk about, but when a
Good.
client tells you that it's actually doing what I said it would do, that's the gold.
Love it.
And relative to my marketing, this year I have been pretty dialed in on my marketing, and
Good.
it's very repeatable. I have multiple nurture
Good.
campaigns depending on
Good.
what people are interested in, and those are repeating. But I'm about to do a new campaign here in the next probably 2 weeks.
Good. Good. Maybe you could take some of the nuggets from today and go add this layer, add this layer. I always say when you watch this training, hear this training, please never start with just a clean slate. Start with what's already been established, even if it's two different parts. And I'm like, that's better than starting with a clean slate. Then elevate, add to, say in quarter 3, I'll add this part. Quarter 4, I'll add this part. So to your point, there's no clean slating. There's just leveraging and going, I'm going to add this element to my blitzing of XYZ. Awesome. Awesome, Lisa. All right, Trish, and then Stephanie.
Hello, ladies. I feel like I had my best service today because I had a client who, through meeting her at a talk that I gave in January, following up with her a couple times, she reached back out, we connected, and I sent her the day before text saying, "Hey, I'm so excited to work with you tomorrow. Make sure you get a good night's sleep and have a good breakfast." And I was so glad that she was honest with me. She's like, "I'm excited and a little nervous." I said, "I get
Okay.
it. Sometimes it's scary to invite someone into your home and admit that you need this help. So I feel like through
Good.
my marketing, I want to normalize organizing because we hire cleaning people to put more time in our life. Why not organizing to do the same?"
So good. So
But I was able to kind of put her at ease. I said, "We will go slow. I'll work at your pace. And basically, I will hold your hand the whole way." And before I even left, she's like, "Oh my God." She's like, "I feel so much lighter because I had taken out a bunch of boxes and shifted some things around. And we got rid of a big, not big, but for her tiny that she moved into, downsized into her little apartment, was taking up too much space. And she said, "Oh my gosh, no," she goes, "You are so polite and so respectful." And
Mhm.
it was like, as I was thinking about how I best served, I've given talks and stuff, and I'm this was like, this was instantly impactful for her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was so well, it felt so good. And yeah,
Yeah.
we got to meet her three fur babies, two cute little pups, and a cat who entertained us the whole time while we were there. And I feel like provided from some stress relief for her too, because it
That's
is an
awesome.
event.
That's that's
It was good.
awesome.
And then what was the other question? Sorry.
Marketing blitz. How do you feel about
Um,
this set of building out marketing blitz that are repeatable?
Gosh, with your help, some of you might not know, Connie is my new business coach and amazing. Through what we've been working on and the follow-up that I have with people, that's been the key. I mean, you think about it, it's like, well, duh, but it wasn't so much to me. It's like if I didn't hear back from them, I'd kind of just be like, well, I guess, but then it's the revisiting and reaching
Yeah.
out or popping them onto my list to keep them top of mind, or me top of mind for them, and just sending them helpful tips. It's been amazing. I've got 4 talks on the books for between now and, what would it be, third quarter. So yeah, excited.
So good, Trish. So good. Awesome. 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 Stephanie, dive in, friend.
I love hearing from all of you on what's going on. So how am I serving my clients? Something I've gotten really clear on this year is that I used to try to separate the healing from the business side, and now I'm like, they are not separate. They are together. So what I love to serve my clients, like I just had a client just was here and I was like, what do you need? Do you need healing? Do you need business
Yeah.
practices? And a lot of times my clients will come in and be like, I need you to help me with healing, clear the energy stuff, clear the blocks, and then they're clear, they can plan. And so it feels so good to not be like, well, do you need to, they're not separate. It's who I am. It's what I was created to do. So I have so much more clarity on how I can serve. And it almost just feels like a 2-for-1. Like, you get the healing modality. I just had a client text me. She's like, I didn't know you were such a great healer. I'm like, I don't like to say that. I'm like, I'm a vessel. God works through me. I was like, but I mean, it's been something I've been doing for 20 years. I know how to do it and I'm very confident in it, but I'm also getting so confident in the business strategies. And it's like getting the alignment and getting that alignment first and then developing the soul strategies around that. So that's how I'm serving and it feels so good. I just, feels easy, feels easier than ever. And then as far as marketing, I I really am loving the way I'm doing. I have a new procedure that I'm doing in marketing and how I'm going to the warm market first and how I titrate it out. And it's
Yeah.
going really well. Like I did a Soulful Success, just started this networking, something I've been wanting to do for years. And because of the way I marketed it, it was full within 3 days. And I was like literally like turning off the RSVP and I was like, grabbing chairs out of my garage going, I wasn't expecting all these extra people to come. But I was telling like the entrepreneurs were standing outside my Soul Shine section. I was like, this is what we want, right? So just give me a minute. I like normalized it. So that feels really good. And I am getting ready to launch a Soulful CEO community, which is a step, I don't want to say it's a step down from my VIP, but it just doesn't have all the bells and whistles.
Yep.
It has less. And so I'm doing the same launch strategy as I've been doing
Good.
for that. So I feel good about repeating the launch. That's what I think your question was,
Awesome.
Honey.
Awesome. Love it. And everyone watching the recording again, as we get, pen to paper, out of our head onto paper for the next 25 minutes or so, right? Like adulting happy hours are very intentional that it's get to know each other, get some real working strategies, not just like, oh, let's talk and maybe I'll do the thing. And then we'll always close out with calls to action. So I'm going to go ahead and truly share the screen, truly start the Blitz 3 phases. And again, I want to just provide another tool, right? Like the gift that I give when I say elite entrepreneurship coach is not from the space of it's dollars or it's, a certain way or a business model. It is that you are doing best practices so that you do have the ability to scale your business. You do have the ability to take the 7-day fishing trip test, which is, can your business make money if you went offline for 7 days and did a fishing trip? insert your idea of fishing trip. It doesn't have to be a true fishing trip, right? But I want to lean into how do you create and sustain momentum in these marketing blitzes over and over and over and over, okay? So we're going to dive in. We've all been there before. You want to build the strategy, you want to build all the graphics, you want to do all these things, and you're like, but that did it's sat dead. I kicked off on May 1st, or I was going to, get the membership going, and it sat dead. So I want to build a runway. I want to build the picture to say there's always 3 phases. And again, just a best practice to say a marketing blitz should be, broken down as you're managing as the marketing director, to make it super clean and clear to go. When I look at the calendar and I want to start the membership May 1st, and I'm just using membership for May 1st because I have a group coaching program that starts in 48 hours, but who's, playing it out, is I'm deep in the last 33% before we go live with the thing, right? So I'm like living and breathing, being like, cool, we're at that 48-hour window and I'm doing to close out that marketing blitz, okay? So my goal is that you take some screenshots of this, you watch the recording again, because I want you to have some tangible checklist items that you move into your Asana, you move into your Trello boards, right? Like I want you to actually take and go, do I have that as part of my methodology? Or if you have a team that helps you with marketing, helping them actually have some robust like feedback points, then our marketing campaign didn't go well. And then you all look at each other, and most of us are looking at ourselves because we're mostly our own marketers. And it's like, I don't know what to do next. I hope this gives us some additional talking points. Okay. So my encouragement is that you scope out the next 3 years and you're like, Connie, I don't even know what I'm doing the next 3 days. Okay. But if you could look at 2 or 3 campaigns, no matter what the asset that you're about to sell, the program you're about to sell, and just say, there's always going to be a Q2, a Q3, a Q4 blitz of 1 or 2 campaigns. What do I want to rinse and repeat for 2026? And what do I want to rinse and repeat for 2027? As the CEO of your business, this should be now, after this training and maybe another month of a couple CEO meetings, that you're like, got it. I'm only going to blitz prioritized warrior twice in 2026 and twice in 2027. Or I'm only going to blitz this one core, kind of cornerstone experience. Now, to Stephanie's point, to Trisha's point, to Lisa's point, to my point, that doesn't mean that if you have another amazing program, one off that would serve a certain population that you just spoke to, of course, you can still do an offer, an opportunity. But I'm saying in 2028, there should be clarity to say, I know what my 3 core program events, retreats are, and I'm now at a place where I have a sustainable momentum to go. When someone can't go to my retreat in Q3 2025, they're being placed in the Blitz program for, I'm using real talk, like I'm giving you all the behind the scenes, that they are placed in the 2026 Blitz for Q3, and they are placed in the 2027 Blitz. And it's just, now I just know what to do with that person in my CRM. I'm not going, oh, well, I forgot that person that was at that info session, and they just go on the newsletter. Like I'm just super mindful to be like, that's my core blitz for the retreats, or that's my core blitz for the group coaching, fill in for you, the membership, the experiences, and I just place them in that blitz category. Okay. I'm giving you again the big high level picture to go, that should help with you not losing the humans in, I just dump them in the newsletter. And I'm like, it's an engagement point. It's not a building momentum when you're trying to convert them in a specific asset. Okay. So now that we made the calendar clear and you're like, I need to buy a 2026 calendar, and I thought I was doing well just having a calendar out for 2025. I want you to look at these 4 whys. When you're building your marketing blitzes, there's multiple, okay? You've kind of got 4 buckets. You kind of have 4 whys, not clientele, 4 whys. The first one is to re-engage past clients. So I was working with a client this morning and I said, everyone that exited out of their trial period of your membership, what are we doing with that bucket of people? What's the marketing blitz and our ask gonna be? So you should have a marketing blitz, because guess what, guys? Next year, you're gonna have people leave your business. I love you all, but it's going to happen to the best of us. And hey, guess what? In 2027, you're going to have a bucket of people that left your membership or left your group coaching or did not renew with you. Welcome to service-based businesses. So every year, you shouldn't be twiddling your thumbs, freaking out, going, I don't know what happened. You're going to have maybe attrition of 5%, 10%, 20%. The ultimate goal is to keep a high retention number, but every year there should be a past re-engage client blitz that happens every single year, because you're going to have people that exited out and never renewed again, or did not re-sign with you again, or did not book again. There should be a blitz that you can bucket all those humans in there. I could just finish the training now, and I think that would be fruitful to be like, that's true. I don't need to think about it on a daily basis. What am I going to do if that person doesn't renew? I should have something in place on a quarterly, twice a year. What can I sustain for all of those people that do churn out? I have a blitz opportunity for them to get re-engaged. Okay, that should be a standard marketing blitz 101. Second, my sweet friends, is I just need to cast my net wider. So my next separate marketing initiative is going to be all the new clients. What's going to be my marketing initiative to just attract new humans that don't know Stephanie, don't know Trish, don't know Lisa, don't know Connie? There should be an entire runway built for that you can rinse and repeat when you go to a new zip code, to a new state, to a new networking group, to a new fill in the blank, to go, I know where I blitz and market for just attracting new clientele. Okay. Third blitzing campaign. And again, it's like, maybe I need to create a checklist for each one of these. Maybe I need to fine tooth comb my process for each one of these. I'm hoping I'm illuminating some of that. Yes, we probably should. Is the third one is I'm going to build just cross exposure for my network. So all of us are known for maybe 2 or 3 core services in our current network. Most of us position ourselves, and it's probably, it's a best practice, it's smart, that you don't say, and I do, and I do, and I do, and I do, and I also replace Windows. Right? Like you usually don't do all of the things that you do. You're usually known for just one core service you offer. And then as that networking group gets to know you more and you've done some business, you've done some referrals, this third campaign is I'm launching something new. I'm letting them know that I do leadership trainings. I'm letting them know that I do this type of long-term organization programs with them. I let them know it's when you say for a quarter, I need to let all of my current networking groups in a succinct, clean, not confusing way in my 30-second commercial, say for 90 days, I'm going to be telling the marketing story and blitzing this new asset that I've always had. I've just not brought it to light in terms of it being my primary. And then I'm going to let that go dormant for the next 2 quarters. Okay. My encouragement, because I've beta tested this, I only do one of these a year. I'm just going to be like real time with my data. I didn't gain as much traction. So I did a couple years where I would blitz 2 of them, like on my quarter 1 and quarter 3. I didn't see conversion as high as I did. I didn't see people understanding then that new asset or way of working with me or working with the programs when I did 2 a year, because again, there's so much follow-up and then it's like, I'm on to my next marketing campaign. So I'm just going to just like lessons learned from Connie, 2020 to 2022. I would say there should be 1 quarter you pick a year that in all of your networking, you're cross-exposing them to the next way that they can work with you. And then you let that sit dormant. You follow up with people that were interested, attracted, gave some, hey, I think someone would like to work with you in that space. And then you go back to the normal, scheduled programming for the next 3 quarters. And then you highlight something else. I'm just going to share my own data on that. And then last but not least is your retention. So there should be a marketing blitz that is, we've appreciated working with you. I've so been thankful for all of your loyalty in our coaching relationship, our service relationship. And there should be a marketing blitz to say, and here's the next step to work with me. So I call it, upsell, retain current clients. Again, most people kind of go, I don't know how to do that. They've worked, and I'm like, well, then there has to be some type of maintenance program. There has to be some type of a la carte way to continue to deepen their transformation with you, their skill set with you, them refining their skill set. Trish, I think over and over and over, sweet friend, you have so much of this front loading work. Organize this, go through the emotional piece of it, get it done. And I'm like, well, in 1 year, I'm going to still accrue a lot of stuff. Welcome to this and that and this. It's like there's a natural way to retain me to say, why don't we do an annual spring cleaning retainer for, I'm being real talk on this one, for every spring, would you like to be in March, April, or May? We worked together, we did our thing, and I actually will build you out right now, the retainer to work, because I've done this long enough to know that for us to maintain the systems we just did in this closet or in this kitchen, you're going to accrue more stuff and stuff's going to break and you're going to buy more things. Let's go ahead and actually, just have that as a placeholder. So I share all that to go pick one of these, maybe pick two, but trying to do all of these marketing campaigns to say, I'm marketing to everyone in my database or everyone to my networking groups. I'm just going to speak from honest data. Like there's nothing right or wrong from data to go, the sanity to say for 1 quarter, I'm going to focus on 2 blitzings for re-engaging past clients, do that well, do that fruitfully, and then I'm going to move to the next quarter and do just a new attraction 90 days and do a couple campaigns in that. That's fair. And that's going to be my hyper focus. I would encourage you to start looking at 1 or 2 of these at a time. I would not be in a 90-day bout trying to do marketing in all 4 of these lanes. Okay. All right, sweet friends. So let's talk about what these strategies look like. So you can leverage your current network in terms of the strategy. So instead of you going, now again, pick attract new clients, pick retain, current clients, pick, I got to revive the dead is what I call it, the revive the dead, database ones. You could start with, I'm just going to currently leverage where my networking is. I'm not going to add any different events. I'm just going to position it differently. That would be one way to do what we're about to share. Second is I've tapped out all those channels, Connie, and all of us on this call and all of this recording have been there, done that. Sometimes your life cycle in networking is 2 years. Sometimes you can life cycle in 4 years and the group dynamic changes. Like, welcome to networking. Welcome to, B2B groups. Welcome to what different, communities go live and then they get a new leader, they get a shit. I'm like, welcome to just being part of where does the community shift? Where do I position myself as a B2B or a B2C? So you honestly looking like, once a quarter, is this the appropriate time for me to start auditioning new groups so I can build, again, new marketing campaigns just for new exposure? I can sustain and say, I'm going to stay the same in my 3 current groups, but I need to spend an entire quarter marketing and loving on and building, some just new exposure points that have nothing to do with cross exposure in my current groups. And I do that once a quarter every single year, just for real time. I choose to do that in my quarter 3 because I already have so many programs that are in motion in things, because then it front loads me for my quarter 4 programs. I'm going to say most people can actually do that pretty well. It's a good time to audition groups, try their trial run, go as a guest, and I just front load as much networking as I can every quarter 3 to save my life and keep me sane. And then I'm like, hey, that quarter's done. We will revisit that in 2026, Connie. Which ones are we making a commitment to, and keep building the new exposure and engagement? Okay. And then the auditioning of new circles of influence. I have a list of leadership individuals that they are leaders at the chamber, they're leaders in the group, they're leaders at the Kiwanis, and I'm constantly kind of updating that list where I'm like, life's happening for half of those leaders. Again, could I be building more rapport with them or doing more collaborations with them? No, they're max, they're this, and they have a graduating senior. They go lower to the list. Okay. So this third one is I look at my COI, my circle of influence, and I'm always like, who are my top 20 just rock stars that I want to continue to do business with? They are great referral partners. I'm in alignment with their ethics and values. Their energy of how they always show up is on the mark, on the mark, on the mark. There has to be a season that you're auditioning, and I'm literally vetting out that list that I'll play out for the rest of the next 6 months, next 12 months. But I would encourage you, if you haven't looked at your roster of all the groups you attend and look at the leadership, the actual tangible leaders, or just the people that you're like, she's awesome. like I don't know what she does. I'll never actually do business with her, and she'll probably never do business with me. I'm being this serious. But her circle of influence, the way she shows up, I know that there's ways we could be of value to each other and build a real business referral, relationship. She's going to be one of my auditions to like scope out and see what she does in the next 6 months. That's a marketing blitz opportunity for you to be like, before I go and commit to sponsoring one of her events, or before I go and commit to doing a speaking opportunity for her or a true call to action, I'm going to take a marketing time and just look at my circles of influence and how they're showing up in their campaigns. So I'll take a step back 1 quarter and I'm like, Connie, you don't have the energy to be blitzing anything. Have you had a quarter like that? Because I have, where I'm like, I am so blitzed out, I don't even know which way is up. So instead of you sit dormant, I go to a passive strategy and I'm just auditioning and I'm just being a participant in others' marketing strategies where I'm like, ooh, yes, I'll go to that event. Ooh, yes, I'll show up to that thing. Ooh, yes, I'll go to their 30-minute master class. And I'm auditioning individuals to get onto my next circle of influence. Does that make sense? It's so good. All right. Then your roles. So you always have your, marketing director, right? Because we're talking marketing blitzes. I like to break this down to say I have a public relations part of my department. I have to make sure that the sales vice president, the sales director knows that we're in cahoots, what I'm marketing, I know what I'm selling. And then I'm doing engagement throughout this marketing campaign. Meaning, if I'm going to make the 6 social media posts over a month, and I'm going to do the 3 info sessions, and I'm going to do the 2 speaking engagements, I am making sure that I have built in time. The engagement director is, after I do today's training, she's doing the reach out, she's having this on her calendar. I'm making sure that that role is put into place. It may be your VA, it may be you, but that role has to happen. I'm going to be very honest. Do not blitz something and market something and do all the things if you do not have time on the calendar to go when the 1 person inquires, when the 3 people want more information, when they have follow up from the speaking event. That has to be a actual role on the calendar. Okay. All right. You ready to break up 33, 33, 33? So the pre-planning is 33% of the formula. The implementation is 33%. And then I'd say the lost, saddest part of every marketing campaign is the post blitz. It just sits 66% done and it makes me cry every time. So we're going to stop doing that after today. So I want you to set the goals and timelines as your first step. Oh, hang on a second. We just skipped this. Let's say. Here we go. I want you to set your goals and timelines as the first step to say, okay, I'm going to use May as a true timeline. We're going to do 4 weeks in May of the pre-planning of the blitz, meaning I'm going to write the email campaigns. The graphics are going to be completed. Like we're going to get the pre-planning stage done, but I'm going to make a happy little tracker for me. Then when I'm in implementation mode and I'm exhausted, doing all the things, having all the conversations, doing all the speaking events, doing all the Facebook lives, I have a tracker for that because your motivation is going to tank. I love you all and I love myself even, but I will tell you when you're in implementation mode and you just feel like you are repeating the same thing to different groups, to different audiences, text message campaign, did that go well? There was a misspelling there. The link broke again. You know what keeps you sane during an implementation of a blitz is you're like, all I have to do is 10 Facebook lives, Connie. All I put in the pre-blitzing plan for when we're implementing is to do 6 sales calls. All I needed to complete is 2 info sessions so that when you lose momentum, because it will happen in implementation, you just know what the framework is to complete. Okay. And the last part of your goal and timeline is, okay, now that I did the event, the launch, the blitz, and half of my people ghosted me, because welcome to working with humans, I'm going to still do my 2 hours of X. I'm going to still make sure that they get put in to my Facebook group invitation 1 time, 2 times, and then last call, last call. But I'm going to really encourage you, even if you're an electronic human, to make sure that it's built out in the automation cycle and all those pieces, having the visual representation of like May 1 to May 15th, May 16th to May 31st, and June 1 to June 15th. I can see it right now when I have my tracking sheet in one folder. I'm literally like, I know exactly what my next container needs to look like. I know exactly what that activity is in the midst of everything else we are doing in our businesses. So that's why I'm putting this ahead of even explaining the 33% is please get I mean, now on the boat, not as tangible to do a manila folder for every marketing blitz, but if you could go back 15 years for all of what I did in marketing blitzes, every manila folder had the marketing blitz for PW, blitz for strategic planning, group coaching. And I had my tracking sheet to be like, cool, this is what I need to do for this blitz. This is what I need to do for this blitz. Got the satisfaction and dopamine hit to color in the little Candyland game, go to the next program. Okay, so I do think the modality of either having the giant sticky note or the manila folder or the habit tracker sheet that you can customize on any Pinterest board, build that out and print it off and get ready to sticker it in or color it in. The data keeps showing, because we are getting so dopamine diffused and we are doing everything electronic, that we're not even getting the satisfaction of completing our critical action steps anymore. And again, chore charts work for kids because it's a human element. So we need to go back to that skill set of get the stickers, get the sticky note, get the freaking markers, and have your mind to body connection make an X and a dopamine hit happen. I'm getting off my soapbox to make sure that everything you're about to learn, you're actually going to be able to complete. Okay. And then last but not least, we're using the May timeline, June 20th, because I already know my Blitz calendar. June 20th is my sit down. How did the Blitz go? How did the follow up on those 2 speaking engagements go? And it's already on the calendar. So I'm going to stop. I'm not going to stop the screen share, but I want to just say, like, off the top of my head, you being able to hear how repeatable for the last 8 years that has been my blitz for whatever program. I told you May to May 15th, 16th to 31st, till the June 15th. And then on June 20th, I had my debrief meeting about those blitzes. Feedback. Like, how could you translate that to your calendar where it's that clean, no matter if that blitz is to re-engage clients, if that blitz is to attract new clients? Give me thoughts on being that clean of timelines. Go ahead and unmute on that.
For me, I could see that being plug and play certain hours of certain days to do these tasks. And then
Yep.
I like your visual of the tracker because I don't think I've tracked that way, but I'm very visual. So I feel like that would help too, to know that I got this done, I got that done, and then
Yep.
this is what's next.
Yep. Good. Good. Lisa.
Yeah, I like the same thing. I was curious about your Candyland game. Do you use that as part of your tracker?
Great question. It's actually, I'm happy to send it to each one of you, or even on the YouTube when I upload it tomorrow as a file. I have found the best, like, editable, if you will, squares of different colors and things like that. And it literally is just called Activity Tracker. And I make the first 2 weeks the pre-blitz, the implementation in the bottom. So it's Candyland squares, but it's enough rows for me to delineate.
Yeah, I would love that. I do better if it seems fun.
Done.
Because if it seems really boring, or because I like all the creative stuff, but then once it gets to the boring stuff, like the doing, then I just am bored. So I like that. And I don't track mine like that. Currently, I track mine like in very large buckets. So
Yep.
I
Yep.
like the smaller,
Yep.
more linear kind of approach.
Good. Good. Stephanie, really good, Lisa.
I love the start to finish. You've got to starting gate and you've got to finish and then you have to how did it go? You know, you're looking at how do I optimize that? So I love that. It was an aha for me because I've been doing digital. I have a digital tracker and I also have like a big white piece of paper where I'm tracking the clients and bringing them in. But I love what you said too. It's like, you know, to color something in. And so I think I need to go more to taking off the digital, even though I'm like, oh, it's easy. I can do it in Florida when I'm on the beach. But to be honest, when I started my last campaign blitz, it started off great. But it was like, it wasn't right in front of me and I had to go find the file. And it was like, if it was right in front, I do much better when something is right in front of me and I go to the dollar store and I take like a poster board and I create my whatever the board it is. So it was just a really good aha for me going, I need more of that. So I would actually love to see your tracking sheet too, Connie. That would be helpful to see because I'm always looking for things like that to make it more
Yep,
easy.
happy to. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm putting it on the front loading to go. I'm telling you, you hit the middle 33% and we're all tired, we're all burnt out. We already felt like people, the blitz isn't going well. I'm behind schedule. I'm like, welcome to blitzing of marketing. That tracker and that Candyland framework that's not on oh, I was gonna do my 3 email drip campaign and I was gonna do my 17 Facebook lives and I'm like, cool. Make that a tangible thing that when you're exhausted for 2 weeks, you are just checking those things off in between your time of marketing time, or you had to shift it to a Friday, because that is reality. Like that's reality of implementation is something's going to happen. And like today's, productivity time of me having to shift 2 hours to tomorrow. But I know that like that campaign still has to happen and that follow-up step has to happen with my 48-hour window. It's not, oh, I won't get to it, which happens to most of my clients. It's like, oh, I was going to do that. That was a great plan, but I didn't get to it. I'm like, no, you need to do these last 3 text messages because that's the X box. It's okay that it's tomorrow, but it's not going to happen. Okay. All right, sweet friends. Now let's break it down. First runway is 3 weeks long. 3 weeks long. Make it, again, I said 1st through the 15th of May. It's a 3-week long window. Find a little, I always say this part's the art, not the science. You have 4 moving parts of what you do in these 3 freaking weeks. Rinse and repeat this, my sweet friends. Write it down and make it a checklist. You have 20 specific engagers, invitees to whatever the blitz is. It's not a discount. It's not an early bird special. It's you just going, these are my top 20 humans I want to see in this membership, at this retreat, in this group experience, buy this package, set up this event. It's your top 20 people that you're like, I will reach out to them when I'm in implementation mode. I already have that list done on a piece of paper. Okay, I love you. Number 2, you identify 20 groups, your Facebook groups, that you're going to share when you're in implementation, not when you think about it. In the 3 weeks of planning this, what are going to be my top 20 Facebook groups, networking groups that I can share every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 a.m. on the day that they post the graphic, all the things. That should be one tracking sheet. Okay. Number 2 is that you have pre-blitzed phone calls, scripts, and timeframes already done. So you have in your notes section when you are traveling and we are in between appointments to be like, I don't know what that looks like when I'm calling these people. I'm not going to call them. You have them already created. Again, I'm fine with this being electronic, where it's already in your email box. It's already on a Word document. It's already somewhere on a text message or a note section, that all you have to do is like, I know exactly the 20 pre-phone calls are going to be to this group. I already know what the ask is going to be. I already know there's times, y'all. I love it. I'll be transparent. I'm making voice memos for campaigns 3 months in advance to be like, hey, happy Wednesday. They ain't going out till July. But that's the thing I can get done in this pre-blitzing time, so I don't have the excuse to be like, I don't know what to say. No, I made it. I messed up. I made it. I messed up. And I mark it as my marketing campaign for my voice memos that are going to go out. That much front loading to be able to be pre-planned in it. Because I'm telling you, once you get an implementation, all the excuse side shows up. Okay. And then your 20 tickets sold. So this is what I mean by this. When you create your Facebook event, when you already seed your engagement, you need to have this like, hey, I've already had one of my clients say, I've been interested in XYZ. And I'm like, I need to make sure that like, as one of my just like thank yous, or if I want to give them like, hey, your friend has wanted to be part of the membership for a month, or she's wanted to, maybe be part of this master class. I already have in my mind, not the 20, this is so good, not the 20 VIPs I'm selling to. I have the people that say, I know I wanted to introduce you to so and so. Where does that list live? Like, there's been so many times I've had connects, and I know that they're not going to become a client of mine, but they're like, oh, I have that one organization that would be a great introduction. Or I have this client that's at a place of scaling her business, and I never got that person's number. So when I do the seated 20 tickets sold, I'm going through my connects, my database, my CRM notes, and I'm like, yeah, Sherry said that she was going to introduce me to so and so. I need to put that as my seated people to be like, hey, Sherry, what was that girl's name? What was that introduction you want to do? Here's the script for that. Because I have this upcoming group coaching experience. I have this headshot event. I have this piece that I'd love to invite her to and give her a ticket or give her access to, purchasing here now. We missed that entire column of brainstorming that Rolodex. Gold on that in pre-planning.
That's gold.
Bingo. So in my mind, y'all, I have 20 humans I'm selling to, 20 groups I'm engaging with, 20 pre-blitzing scripts that I can rock and roll with any of those groups now. I don't have an excuse for that. And then all of my people, when I have met with 15 people last month and 15 people, and they're like, I wanted to introduce you to her. How can I be of service to? And I'm like, cool. She is a great referral partner. I need to make sure she's on this concept already sold to go, I'd love an introduction because I think this would be a great fit for her. Can I give you a template for that? All of that is already thought through before I'm like, oh gosh, I need to sell all the tickets. Okay. Okay. Now you get into this part. I'm like, oh gosh, take a drink of whatever you're drinking right now. Coffee, alcohol. I don't know. Make your best decisions right now. All right. So this is now then the true 3 weeks long. This is where I'm like, exhaustion's real. Welcome to marketing blitzing in a beautiful way that you block 3 times. I work the blitz. So when I'm in full on blitzing mode, again, we're going to use May 16th to May 31st. I pick my marketing blitzes again to do a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Thursday afternoon. And I just know that's when I'll say the retreat, when I'm blitzing the retreat, when I'm following up with the retreat, and I'm doing a sales process to go, that is when I'm offering the consultations. That is when I'm making sure I have master classes on the schedule. That is when I do the backstage pass technique to go, if you ever wanted to attend the retreat, I have 3 backstage passes for 20-minute consultations. This is when I have buttloads of, open houses and open office hours, interest calls. I only segment that for 3 weeks of just compressed time. Okay. I'm attending every event I virtually can or face-to-face can. I'm going to other groups. Like, I'm super mindful to be like, Connie, I'm just expecting you to be on for 3 weeks and do all the heavy lifting for those 3 weeks. Most of us do heavy lifting for months and months and months and months and months. Do it for a 3-week campaign. And then again, 48-hour, secure your spot, secure your spot. That right now, I'm engagement director because I'm in the 48-hour window to create urgency to be like, we're closing, we're done. Are you doing the thing? You got the link, you got the thing. I have my, I can tell you right now, 36 final follow-ups for 2 spots to say, I'm in full on engagement piece to be like, May 1, you got to make the decision. All of that is scripted already. That's already text message that I'll jam out in one of my working the blitzes. So just a new way of working that to go, what could you do for 3 weeks? Just hitting the ground hard in that and not allowing yourself to get distracted by any other deliverables in your company. Because then you can take some time off, you can ebb and flow, but for 3 weeks, could you do number 2, 3, and 4? And like I said, tangibly, every blitz, my sweet friends, I do not book client. I have 0 client calls tomorrow because you know what I am closing tomorrow? Group coaching calls. And that's going to be a work session. And so will Thursday the 1st will be a work session to close the group coaching, 4-month group coaching calls. Those are 2 large segments I need to do as implementation. I don't have networking. This. I'm like, you're in the final stages of it. Make sure it happens because you only get those 48-hour windows. That's been held on my calendar since January. Okay. Love you all.
Ooh,
Let's keep rolling.
I have a
Yeah,
question
Lisa.
about
Yeah.
that. So you actually are blocking your calendar for those 48 hours and each of those
It's just,
sections of the Blitz?
yep. Yep.
Okay.
I do not, I'm not, I could be attending a networking event yesterday, but then I looked at it 2 months ago and I was like, oh, that is when I'm post blitz. That is when I'm doing my 48-hour urgency follow-ups, not at 11 p.m. freaking out. I've got segments of like, you are in final engagement role. Engagement director, you will have, no matter how many spots I had to sell, 2, 7, 8, whatever, the marketing blitz requires me to do my tracking sheet. Candyland director requires me to do 3 engagement director bouts.
Okay. Thank you.
Bingo, bingo. You are so welcome. All right. Then I'm like, yeah, it's fun to work for Connie Kircher because then we have 3 weeks of post blitzing. So this is again May 2nd for this current campaign. If we talk about me, because I'll blitz again, a new campaign May 1 is who was interested that said I was going to attend, last minute canceled. They ghosted you on Facebook Messenger. They marked interested on your Facebook event. They didn't show up to your Eventbrite link. All of the things. Okay. What am I going to do with those next steps? So I literally set a segment time and I'm like, cool, I have 14 interested people that they have ghosted. I don't have any plan. What am I going to do with them? Am I going to offer them a consultation to say, maybe we'll work together? Maybe they're going to be offered to come to an adulting happy hour. Maybe they're going to, but I take my who was interested list and I just don't leave them. I literally put them in the CRM system and be like, hey, Connie, I know we missed each other 3 times, or I know you marked interested in 2 info sessions at the retreat. Are you wanting more more information on that retreat, or would you like to be on the waiting list for 2026? Please let me know next steps. But I am not letting that whole bucket of exposure just sit stagnant. Okay. Then second is we missed you. So when Stephanie invites humans, Lisa, when you have events, Trish, when you do your speaking opportunity, and they said I was going to be there, or they do your registration list at the library and you see 18 people registered and only 8 showed up. Well, those 10 people get we missed you, but here's next steps. Real time, y'all. Polka Dot Powerhouse, Westminster, Colorado, April 2025. Okay. The next steps of that blitz of when people do not schedule any consultation, even though they marked, even though they didn't show up, I batched all of that and said, I missed you. Loved seeing all my dot sisters in Colorado. Here would be the missing step, or here would be the next steps that I offered all of the attendees to all 3 or 4 of the meetings. Please let me know if any of these would be of service. Can't wait to see you this summer. Because that's a bucket of individuals for engagement we aren't doing any marketing to, we aren't doing any messaging to. Okay. Then I go back and I look at all of my Facebook groups. Which ones still say pending? We've all been there where we've shared events into groups or they've been deleted or that. I'm like, then that group's not fruitful. I need to update my tracking sheet on that. Or this is the one that I kept getting, Amy's comments, Amy's comments, Amy's comments. Okay, I need to make sure that that group goes into all of my blitzes now. So I look at who the key players were. And if I see someone that I right now, I have someone that commented twice in the Denver Boss Babes about group coaching, and I multiple times. And I know I'm going to tell you right now, she's not going to convert because I haven't gotten her email address by now, right? Like we're so far in the process. What I will do in this post blitz is to say, hey, Amy, we missed each other. I'd love to invite you to this next group coaching, experience that happens in adulting happy hours or mind over matter experiences, or I'll be speaking for XYZ. Would you like to be a guest at? So I don't let any of my key players in all these social media groups just fly out the window and hope they do something. They're never going to work with you again. They don't even know what you do. Like, I love you all. So all those interested players that commented, but nothing happened. And again, not the interested ones, but just the group engagement and just be like, here's the next way to see. Here, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If that's the only bandwidth you have and the only thing you have upcoming. super duper. But there has to be a call to action in this post blitz. And then last but not least, is there is a rest and recovery time that is blocked. That after you get done with implementation, there needs to be 1/2 day that you attach, because we're humans and we like carrot theory, not stick theory for motivation. That I'm like, Kircher, you did your job. Awesome job. You get a 1/2 day at the spa. You get a 1/2 day of whatever that looks like, whether it be retail therapy, whether that be professional development time, whether that be, outdoors time. There needs to be a segment. It could be 2 hours, you guys. You don't have to go freaking like book the Ritz-Carlton in, downtown Denver. You could literally just go, I need to decompress and rest and recover from that blitz. And I need to make sure that as the employee, she felt rewarded for that blitz because I have 9 more to go this year. Okay. So we are going to close out on that. Like that is the formula. That is where we are starting and stopping, because that is plenty to wrap our minds around in those 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. Because then you can fill out a little bit to be like, one, it maybe needs to be 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks. But what I find is then I have enough rest and recovery time to be able to then say, okay, what's my next marketing blitz going to be? Back to slide 1, back to what my why is, and then start building that pre-planning, implementation, and post. So I'm going to stop the share. And I want to hear in the last 3 minutes, we got a minute per person on this live call. And of course, in the comments section, feel free to ask any questions or any clarifying questions. We're going to go in the order we started. Lisa, Trish, and Stephanie. Ahas made concrete. How are you feeling about seeing the 33, 33, 33 blitzing and what that can look like for marketing? Lisa, oh, I'm mute, sweet friend.
Whoopsie. I love the structure of that. And so I'm looking forward to trying that structure. I think that's great. I also love the whole Candyland idea because it makes it sound fun. So now I just want to like hurry up and get started on my May campaigns
Yeah,
or
good,
my
good.
blitzes.
Yeah, blitzes. Yep, blitzes. Did it help to segment 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks? Give me feedback on that.
Yeah, I think so. I have to try it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try it in its pure form, the Connie Kircher
Fair.
pure
That's
form.
the pure form. That's a good way to say it. The pure form, and then boil it down. Yeah, I like it. I
Yeah,
like it.
and then see if if I need to adjust it. But I think that that seems reasonable, and yeah. So I'm in. I'm gonna do
Good.
it.
Good. I like it. Trish and then Steph.
I love the process, and I'm trying to wrap my head around the second 3 weeks is going to be wedding and honeymoon. So I'm just like, how am I going to do that?
But
But just having, like Lisa said, the structure, and I'm good when I have scripts and I know exactly what to say or exactly what to do. So I love the fact that you said I do it 3 months ahead of time. I'm like, then I don't feel the pressure of coming up with that exact perfect thing in the moment or within only a couple days. So that felt much easier, and having the structure will just help guide that. So it's like, I did this, now I do this, do it. So there's no guesswork. It's brilliant.
Yep. I have all of the copy and paste, like ways I share the events, share into groups, share in text messages, and even like what my like scripting of like the emails are going to be. They literally, I just put those all in my notes section and call them, again, 4-month strategic group, coaching program, where I was like, all those were in there. So as I was in implementation mode, I was like, which one do I send her? Which one's going to be in my private message? How do I respond to this with the link to schedule the interest call? All those were just plug and play. So I didn't miss any of that engagement, because I was like, I'm so busy and tired. I was like, go to the freaking file, Connie, and copy and paste it. Good.
And so
Good.
that will be rinse and repeat then too for each of the quarters.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you see, okay, so FYI, group coaching program will start again like September. You'll see the same emojis, graphics, groups, da 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 da. Because again, we're cycling through them, and I'll probably do it for 1 more year, and then I'll adapt what those copy and paste scripts are. Yep, Stephanie.
Well, I have to ask a question here before I let it fly. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Where
amen.
do you house your scripts? Do you have it in a Google document where it's a cut and paste? Like how do you organize and track that?
Yep. So I have them on Word documents according to the asset. So, and it is a running Word document that I will go back, let's say again, for strategy group coaching, because that's an asset where I have ones that I'm like, okay, these are more my primary ones that I would pull. And I've got 3 or 4 templates kind of like, I can copy and paste there. Then I have one that has Facebook ones that I'm like, these are the key hashtags I've used before, and about 6 different ways I have posted on Facebook, the little blurbs, the little links. So it is about, like I can say for the strategy group coaching program, there's probably an 8-page Word document that for that asset, I have it all copied and paste for me to be able to do Facebook Messenger. And I've got 3 adaptations of what the appropriate copy and paste message would be for that inquiry.
Cool. Awesome.
Yep.
So super quick. This was awesome. I love your how you do it. For me, my energy is so fast that I realize in all the speaking engagements that I've done, I miss so many people that are interested, but I don't go back and follow up because they're not on a slip or something like this. So this was really good to look at, like, how do you go back and you catch those interests? So that was really helpful for me.
Yep. And I don't do it while I'm in implementation. I'm letting the natural sales process follow up engagement piece. And then when I'm like, they never even reached out to me. It's just they said they were interested and then they went away. I use those last 3 weeks to be like, Connie, it's your responsibility that if they mark interested at some point, or they came up to you in an event and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so great. I'm like, it is my responsibility to go through that calendar of like, you just went to 78 events, Connie. Like I shipped you out for a long time to do all the things. I'm like, it's kind of my responsibility to make sure that I'm like, if someone asks, and then I'm honestly just saying, hey, do you want to know about the next one? Would you like to do a consultation? Would you like to be on an email? I'm just honestly asking me like, hey, and I say this, it's my responsibility as the business owner that you came up to me after that event or you marked interested in my Facebook event. So everyone today for like the adulting happy hour, 5 said going, 18 marked interest. Do you know what I'll be doing tomorrow? Is all the 18 marked interest become a, we missed you. How could I be of service? The next one is XYZ. Because you get trained in that way to go, I never heard anything from any of those people. They never filled out an inquiry form, but why would I let 18 humans just sit stagnant on my business Facebook page and never do a next step with them? That's an unpaid lead that's floating out there. Okay. All right, friends. This one was gold. I'll be a little bit lighter in May. Okay, I promise. I promise. We'll keep it a little bit lighter, a little more jazz, and maybe you don't have to drink something so strong.
I would
But I
expect
really,
it no other way.
yeah, I know exactly. You're like, no, Connie, this is not. It'd be weird if
Bring
we
it.
went a little too light. Yeah. So my encouragement again, watch the recording for the 3 of you that are here live doing the thing. My encouragement is make sure that you watch the additional YouTube, glorified ways that they make recommendations to be like, if you liked this video, watch this next marketing one, because there is over 200 videos in that database to you just get more exercise in some of these philosophies. And then last but not least, I have the next date lined up. Our next let me make sure I'm not losing my mind here. Yes, the next one for our, hang on, I got mind over matter, but why am I not seeing this one? Hang on. Got it. Is on the 20th. So it is that Tuesday. And it is from, again, 3 to 4 p.m. So Tuesday, May 20th, 3 to 4 p.m. Okay, Mountain Standard Time. All right, friends. So that was Adulting Happy Hour. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, evening, or if you're watching the replay, make sure that you subscribe. If I can be of service, I'm always a text message away, an email away, a private message away. I just truly believe in making sure that we share these best practices. We practice the best practices. Like, don't get all excited and just leave these out in Never Land. You need to move them to Candyland. So I will absolutely make sure that tomorrow when I upload this video, that actually the tracking sheet that I'm referring to is something that you guys can have a visual representation, to Lisa's point, to adapt, to, edify, however you need to make some changes there. Okay. All right. Awesome night. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Bye. My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.